Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Skater D.
Hey, I'm John Charles Meyer, producer of Dave Made a Maze.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott Ladotti, author of Play the Devil, and you are listening to Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
This is Andy Cruz from SiriusXM 415, and you're listening to Luch Dog in the Morning.
The #1 sports show on the planet. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the Morning. Sunday, December 10th. Straight at you in Richmond, Virginia. Giddy up! So welcome to the show, my wonderful friends. How are we feeling today? It's a huge show. We are in a brand new studio, and we are feeling good up here in Northern Virginia, but we are so happy to hang out with you guys in Richmond, so thanks. We got a big one. Ben McApoo and the Dumpster Fire Giants. Oh, my goodness. We are so glad we are not them. The NFL should take a page out of the XFL's book. Pre-gaming drinks to avoid in the holiday season. Mike Mitchell rips the NFL, and, of course, Rafi Palmeiro returns to baseball at age 53 as a player. It all starts here on Luch Dog in the Morning with my co-host, Belly Matt LaBelle. What's up, my friend?
Good to be back and in the new studio.
Dude, I just have so many praises to put on you as you help me move into this new place. You are the best. Matty Potts from the Santa Monica Newsroom. How are you, brother?
Greetings and salutations. Congrats.
Thanks, man. We
new
are so
dude.
pumped. Yeah, dude. But I think we stick with Studio A. So I don't know if anybody realizes this before we get into the massive show that is today. Studio A is always the best studio when you go into a recording studio. So I don't want to call this recording, I don't want to call it Studio B because as a
Studio
kid.
Prime.
Yeah, like Potts. Remember when you put me into the studio at Q Studios in Falls Church? He was like my producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember we recorded in the Red Room? But then it was Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and then the Red Room. And I remember going in there and being like, damn, what's in Studio A? And it's like nice, dude. It's like thrones instead of chairs, and like you go. Do you remember, Potts? Do you remember that's where we got to mix everything down? It was that separate studio that was like gorgeous.
That's where the newest equipment is.
Right,
That's where everything.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie, it was like 20 years ago. I don't remember it at all. But no, it's.
So this is Studio A.
We recorded on 8-track tapes and.
Yeah, I remember it just being really late nights, and it was cool, but I don't really remember.
My mom was kind of mad at you because I was 16 years old and you're keeping me out until 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, Mom, it's life of a rock star. Sorry.
Mom, I'm recording.
Right. You got stuff to do. I got a studio sesh. All right. So we've got a whole bunch to do. Some of it will be fun. Some of it will be sports. Most of it will be sports, but really.
Well, can I interrupt real quick and just kind of say congrats to you for, I think you just got voted DJ of the century by another website. I just was reading your post, but I mean, literally you're being voted best wedding DJ in the tri-state area by every wedding website there is at this point.
I really appreciate you saying this. I'm going to sound like a jerk for correcting you. It's actually in the nation. So these are national.
It's actually what? What'd you say?
It's actually national.
National. It's not just the DMV. These are national accolades.
I didn't mean to just pigeonhole you into a small tri-state area. My bad.
I mean, come on, man. The
DMV. The third largest market in the U.S.
Right. Yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Not good enough.
I'm really excited. No, it's been great. I've been voted top DJ for the entire website for weddingwire.com and theknot.com, which are national websites. So thank you. It's been really huge. If you want to work with me, I'd love to help you guys. I can't wait.
And one more thing. Last night we were all in this chain where we talk about the show and we kind of like do a little prep on this little text chain. And you said you crushed a wagon wheel. Is that wedding lingo? I have no idea what that means. Hopefully that's not a bad. Is that a bad reference? Because I don't know what
Take it away,
means.
Belly.
So he was karaoke DJing last
you.
night, and sometimes the karaoke DJ needs to kick the karaoke off.
If it's not happening and nobody's singing, like people nobody wants to be first.
So you pick a song that everybody knows,
Boom.
so everyone can sing along.
You know Wagon
And
Wheel?
He did Wagon Wheel.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure I do. I just
no,
don't know the
in
name of the
fact,
song.
when we did name that song, he didn't know what the song was. I played Wagon Wheel, and he didn't get it.
Can you
so
just
it's
sing
fair.
a little verse of it real quick? Acapella?
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel.
Rock me, mama, any way you feel.
See, you know this if
Hey.
you spend enough time in Radford, because that song is always on.
It's also by Old
Yeah,
Crow Medicine Show. It's not actually by Darius Rucker.
No, Old Crow Medicine Show, who also covered it from another person. So
I play it at every single wedding. Classic. So let's get to sports. Thank you, everybody on Sports 106.1 for having us. We are so pumped as a Redskins fan
they know Wagon
to
Wheel.
not be. Darn right they know Wagon Wheel in Richmond. Darn right. Did you guys see Richmond got named like number 3, by the way, number 3 hippest city?
Yeah, Richmond's.
Did you see that? I was
Richmond's
like,
a hip
yeah,
city. They
it
know what's
is.
going on down there.
Number 3 hippest city in Virginia?
In the country. See, again, you're pigeonholing us to the DMV.
He can't believe
Yeah,
it.
because, no. I'm going to have
Sorry,
to say
Richmond.
that's
Potts doesn't believe
fake
it.
Yeah,
news right
Richmond.
there.
Potsy from LA is calling you out, so I need you to hit us up on the Instagram and Twitter, LITM Podcast, and tell him why Richmond is and should be named the number 1 hippest city in the country.
Yeah,
it's not
please do.
It's not because you're Redskins fans. I can promise you that. Boy, it doesn't matter because obviously the season's over. So, like, I am not in any of the playoffs in any of my fantasy teams, and the Redskins are done. So this is like, wow, what do I pay attention to now? And it's the Giants.
This is what being a Redskins fan's like, is like the last few weeks of the season playoffs is just kind of like, you know, it's like,
Whoa,
I
double
did a
down.
little
That was
echo on
neat.
that
That's
one.
exactly what it's like.
I mean, that's really how it deserved a double want. I mean, because you know, this is how it is being a Redskins fan. So
It is. No, I love it. It's true. And, but you know, like you can always say, at least we're not the Giants, and that's what I'm paying attention to. I cannot believe that this. Okay, let's just do this, folks. Eli Manning's got a streak that is massive. Do we know what place he's in the
Second
streak?
all time.
He's second all time.
To the
Yeah.
one and only Brett
just
Favre.
Brett Favre.
And the only reason that he will no longer hold it is because some jackass coach who won't be there the next week decided to bench him for someone who has never done well in the NFL. Wow. Do we realize the gravity of what just happened and how bad it was?
It was the worst fumble I've ever seen.
I mean,
of
that's
him.
worse than the butt fumble, Belly.
But guys, do we blame the owner? The owner let it happen, correct? I
Well,
mean,
that's
that
where a
doesn't
lot of this
happen
is
without
going.
the owner knowing.
In a way, I guess,
Take it away,
but
'cause I
I
have
think what this came down to was an obvious, like, there was communication, but and it went up the chain, but it was like the owner didn't know how it was going to be handled. The GM and the coach were the ones that really made this decision, saying, "Hey, we need to look towards the future." Although starting as soon as if I was the GM or if I was the
Start with
owner,
the other guy.
and they said we're going to start Geno instead of Eli, I'd be like, Geno?
How about Davis Webb?
We've seen Geno.
Yeah.
He actually played in the stadium for the other crappy team
Right.
that plays here.
And when he started, he got punched in the face by his own teammate. So,
He
Do you
did.
think the owner said, "Hey, I'm going to let you guys make this call, but if you screw it up, you both are done"?
No, I think what he said is the owner said he's definitely signed off on the whole, okay, tell Eli we'd like to start him, but we'd like to start playing somebody different at the second half. He did sign off on that, but Potts, this reminds me, you're out there owning the beautiful restaurant Marinate that's killing it. I'm very happy for you out there on LA, on corner of Melrose and
Western.
there it is. Let's say you have an employee. Do you have any like younger employee? Like who's your second in command? I know it's not Scoots. He's like your equal.
We got a kid named Jonathan who's been with us since day one. He's
All right.
really great.
Jonathan,
He
he's the
trains
man.
people.
All right. Now
Yep.
you hire on somebody else. You know what? No, let's just say you go to Jonathan and you say, "Listen, I need you to go to my business partner. I need you to tell him something, and this is what I need you to tell him, okay? And this is how I want you to say it." And Jonathan goes up to your business partner and is just like, "Hey, dude, you're out." Like, that's what it's felt like to me. Like, Mara, as the owner, was like, look, yes, this is how we're going to do it, but you need to communicate it in this way.
Right.
And the guy was like, okay, cool. Eli, you're done, right? That's cool, right? Doesn't matter, right? Because we're just going to put Gino in.
Well, I think it went like this. He goes to Eli and he goes, yeah, so you're going to start the games, keep your streak alive for the rest of the season, but, at halftime we'll probably just pull you out of there and put in the other guy. So if you're cool with that, and Eli was like, no,
Eli's probably like, what other guy?
I'm not cool with that.
Geno Smith. When they
well,
enter
then we're
Geno
just
Smith,
going to bench you.
Jesus Christ, no way.
So, but aside from, I want to twist this a bit.
Please.
Aside from the record, because obviously that's done. Is Eli going to go down as the most professional athlete in sports history? Because will this
how he
actually
handled it?
catapult him to another level of status of athlete? Because he is so graciously step back, and now a week later stepping back in.
Imagine, Potts, if he goes in and lights it up this week, right? If
Right,
he lights
exactly.
it up, I think you make a great point because, Belly, I think the trend on Eli was trending downwards,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's trending down, but at the same time, I mean, the Giants overall as a team were trending down because of the injuries they had.
team.
Right,
because
but
of the
he
amount
was
of players they
unfairly
were
getting
missing,
blamed for it.
because of the bad coaching decisions they
Sure.
were making throughout the game.
Oh, God, the suspensions that they did when they lost the team earlier in the year. I mean, the whole season for the Giants has been a dumpster fire.
Ever since the boat incident
Right.
from last
That's
year,
right.
the people are always tied up on that boat
But
where
go
all
back-
of the people went out on the boat.
But go back before that. Like, even last year, the year before, he's in the Joe Flacco conversation, I feel. Is he elite? Is he not? Is he kind of...
Elite Manning is, I'd give him the elite. Not elite, but he's up there. He's not a bad quarterback.
All right, let's do this. So all I was saying is I think now maybe Potts is right, as he was sort of kind of trending down over the last few years. Maybe this will re-energize him, get him to a new... he's obviously handled it very well. You got to give him all kinds of credit for that. I don't know if I would have handled it that well, to be honest with you. And now he'll go somewhere else like Jacksonville, under Tom Coughlin's regime with a great Saxonville defense. Probably do great. Good for him. Leonard Fournette, that'd be great for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I've never been a big Eli fan, especially being a Skins fan, but I absolutely have a newfound respect for the guy and appreciate the situation he's been in. I give him props. I think he's a real stand-up dude.
But here's the question. Let's do this. We haven't done Would You Rather in a while. I'm just going to throw out names for your team next year at the current place in their careers. Would you rather? I guess we're going for the Redskins. Kirk or Eli?
Kirk.
Eli.
Okay. Would you rather Eli or Alex Smith?
Alex Smith. Eli.
Alex
I'm gonna
Smith
go
is pretty
Eli.
old too, though, right? I mean, how old is he?
Alex Smith is a first-round pick back in 2005, I think,
Nice,
for the
Belly.
San Francisco
Nice,
49ers
Belly.
way back in the day out of Utah.
I'm going to say Eli just because he's in our division, so maybe he's used to our style of football. I don't know if
I would say
that's
Eli,
accurate
too.
or
Alex
not,
Smith has
but-
never proven to be an actual winner. I mean, he's one. I mean, you can
Has
see
Eli?
it right now.
I mean, Jesus.
You can
I
see it
know
right
he's
now with
got
the
2
Chiefs. You can see it right now with the Chiefs. The Chiefs. Now the Chiefs' defense is what's holding them back. They're terrible, but they've literally started 5-0. They're now 6-6. That means in their
That's
last
so
6
crazy
games, they're
how that
1-5.
happens.
How does that happen?
I know.
They're 1
How
and
do
6.
you get-
How does that
They lost to
happen?
the
Well, they
Jets
lost-
last
they also-
It happens every year.
But they also lost Eric Berry on their defense, who's by far their best defensive player.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that
it
makes
doesn't-
sense.
One player
Who cares?
can't break you.
How
One
about Peters?
player.
How about Peters getting suspended today? How about that? Potts, did you see
Did
that?
you see what he did?
Tell him, Belly.
So Marcus Peters is cornerback
is
on the
great.
Chiefs. He got flagged during the Jets game. He picked up the flag from
Oh,
the ground and chucked
And
it
tossed
into
it.
the
Launched it,
stands.
dude. And then he left the stadium as if he got ejected, but wasn't ejected. So he came back out on the field without any pads on in his lower half. I guess it was close to halftime, right? Or was it towards the end of the game? I know it
think
was towards
the end of the game.
it was either half or the end where he wasn't going to have to come out and play, but he just totally went into the locker room thinking he was ejected and was not. I would like to get to the NBA and the ejections that have been taking place if we can get that in and towards the back half of the show, because I got some words for Kevin Durant.
KD.
Yeah, and it's not what you think. I'm not going to blast him.
I would.
Nah, I just got some life. I got some life coaching from my man KD. And we'll do
I mean, does he just need a hug? Because he.
You wanna
I
do it
think
now?
He's been
Let's just do
ejected
it now.
once in 10 years, and now 3 times this season, right? That's some crazy stat like that.
he's been ejected once in 10 years. You just nailed it. It's like once in 10 years and 3 times this season.
Right.
And everybody thought, well, once you win the championship, maybe you'll chill out a little bit. He
Seems very upset.
He's very upset. And this is what I think, Belly. He is somebody, when you're not confident in your own life and your own skin and your own decision making, you rely on the validation of others so that you feel better about the decisions that you've made. And since he has chosen to jump ship and take a shortcut to go to the Warriors, it doesn't matter how much he wins. He's doing nothing but getting crushed. He's getting crushed. You guys see LeBron James. Did you guys see LeBron James the other day talking about how what he does goes overlooked, unappreciated, unrespected? Because he does it so well so often. He's sitting here literally telling you, you guys have gotten spoiled by how great I've been and for how long. And that to me is just saying, like, wow, you need us to say, wow, LeBron, you're great. You're great. You know,
although he is like shooting the best
he's great.
3% of his career right now.
He's having one of the best seasons of his career. It's year 15, folks. LeBron James has been with us for 15
But I gotta be
years.
honest, I do agree. Like, I don't really hear much about him as far as, like, there's, like, all these all-stars out right now, and you don't really hear much about LeBron anymore because, I mean, I guess you're just used to it, and there's all these noobs that are coming up and, like, doing all these great things, and everyone's giving him all this praise. Kyrie Irving is.
Why am I blanking on the 76ers?
He's the best player
Joel
ever.
Embiid. Joel Embiid, everybody's talking about right now.
Well, the Sixers are the ones coming up.
Right. Ben Simmons.
I mean, it's because LeBron's been around long enough now where it's not a debate about who's the greatest player. I don't think it's a debate about who's the greatest player in the game right now, and that's LeBron James.
Well, then why doesn't he win MVP every single year? That's my issue with that award. Can we talk about what that means? The MVP award is garbage. I hate it. It's not accurate. Well, just give it to LeBron James every single year. Otherwise, call it something different.
Well, it's because last year a guy who averaged a triple-double, which hasn't been done in like 50 years.
But guess what? I want to say this. I don't think it's right, but I think this is kind of how I feel. If you take Russell Westbrook off of Oklahoma City.
Oh, they're so bad right now.
And you take LeBron off of the Cavs, which team is worse?
OKC probably.
Last year, yeah. And that's why I kind of caught myself. Last year, yeah.
Aren't the Cavs in the middle of like a 12, 13-game winning streak
when
we recorded this?
They are. Now, they haven't played anybody over 400, which means that they haven't played anybody with a serious winning record. But it is still impressive to win 13 games in a row in an 82-game season for sure.
So because it's just the wear and tear.
Sure.
I mean, you're going to be tired, you're going to get worn out, and probably flub a few.
But what do you say to to me? I just wanted to say to KD and LeBron. We'll take a break here in just a second. We know you're great. We know you're great. And this is my problem. Okay, I'll take it to me. Like for LeBron and KD, they have SportsCenter talking about them. They have every media outlet in the country talking about them. On the planet talking about them, right? They have agents. They have PR reps. Those are the people that should be saying how great you are, not you. It's so helpful when we start a show and Matty Potts is the one to say Lucio won an award. If I just go out and say, hey, guys, I'm nationally ranked. What's up? Like, I'm an ass. That's how it works, right? So to KD and to LeBron, who are sitting there looking for the validation, it can't come from you, man. You've got to be happy with the fact that you are champions. You are winners, man. We respect it and we see it, don't we?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
You can't be the one saying that. I'm sorry. That's all I wanted to say. You can't be the ones creating fake Twitter accounts to go ahead and make cases for yourself.
That's Kevin Durant.
Come on.
But Kevin Durant also came out this season and said he's glad he's on Golden State because he's not the guy. It's Steph Curry's the guy there. And he came out and basically said, I am just so glad I'm not the guy that everyone has to feel like they're rolling with all this stuff.
That must be a great feeling. It's got to be a great feeling. I don't know, unless you're Carmelo. Carmelo wants to be alone.
I'd prefer a star player want to say, I want to be the guy.
That's Carmelo to me.
Well, Carmelo 10 years ago. Carmelo told me today he wants to be the guy. Be like, listen, buddy.
Yeah, you can't be.
Calm down.
All right, we'll do this. We'll take a quick break, and then when we get back, I want to talk about pre-gaming drinks to avoid during the holiday season that will probably turn your night into a mess. And then we want to talk about the NFL taking a page out of the XFL's book. Remember the XFL? We're going to go back to that in just about 2 minutes. It's Luch Dog in the Morning.
At litmradio.com.
Restaurant puts a unique twist on fast casual dining by starting with only the freshest ingredients to slow-cook delicious melodies of tastes and colors that are sure to delight your senses. Whether you're craving the Chipotle pulled pork sliders, honey basil chicken tacos, or the infamous kitchen sink wrap, Marinate has something for everybody with tons of vegetarian options too. It's the perfect choice of catering for your offices or events with fast and friendly service from a brand new store on Melrose and Wester. Stop by today, or you can order online at marinateyourlife.com. And don't forget dollar tacos for Taco Tuesdays. Tacos, wraps, sliders, and sides. Slow cooked to perfection at Marinate Restaurant. marinateyourlife.com.
Do you want to learn how to defend yourself efficiently with your handgun? Or use pepper spray with the confidence of real-life training? How about develop an actionable home defense plan? Innovative Defensive Solutions offers realistic personal defense training both in Manassas and Doswell. IDS Training also travels nationwide to host range and classroom locations. Since 2003, IDS Training has been teaching people to improve their safety through contextually accurate and realistic personal defense training, including concealed carry permit courses, pepper spray courses, beginner firearm safety, and of course defensive firearm training. So head over to innovative-defensivesolutions.com or call 571-535-4437 with promo code LUCH, that's L-U-C, and get 20% off their coursework. You can also find IDS on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with the handle @IDS Training. Innovative Defensive Solutions, making you safer through realistic firearm training. Real training for real life. innovative-defensivesolutions.com.
What's up, y'all? It's Maddie Mads here. This show is sponsored by TTR Studios. Whether it's weddings, parties, karaoke, audio, video production, and all your entertainment needs, call TTR Studios, LLC at 703-850-2223 or check them out at ttrevents.com. Start the show, Luch.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the morning. Hanging out with you right here in Richmond on Sports 106.1. Thank you for joining us on Sunday, as you always do, every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We love doing it, and we're glad that you're here with us. Tell your friends about it. We got Maddie Potts in the Santa Monica newsroom. We got Belly over here in Studio A in Northern Virginia, and we are in your ears down there in Richmond, so thanks for hanging out. If you want to catch the live stream of this show, every Friday we tape this show and we do it at 10 a.m. live on YouTube. And you can check that out on YouTube channel LITM Podcast, where you can also see the live Wednesday show as well. So thank you to all of you listening there. If you want to text and join the show with your input, you can. The number is 571-354-7338. One more time, 571-354-7338. We love your input. Go ahead and text us your thoughts. Potts, I want to get to some of the stories that you have, because everybody knows in our second segment we like to get a little bit fun with you. We like to stray from sports just a little bit to show that we're human beings as well. So, Potts, I know you have a few things for us. Take it away.
Yeah, I did want to get y'all's opinion on something. I've developed this really strange habit over the last couple of months. So I've been eating out a lot, and so I'm trying to focus on like going to the grocery store and buying food there to make. And so I've realized when I go grocery shopping, I start like eating things, and I'm walking up and down the aisles, and I'm eating like little organic cookies and stuff. And I am definitely not paying for them. So like,
where are you getting them from?
I've realized I'm going to the store when I get hungry, just so I can walk up and down the aisles and eat some more. I'm kind of obsessed with these like little like organic honeycomb cookie things. And so, and I mean, I'll buy stuff, but I've even gone so far as to get like this big cup of chicken noodle soup they have. It's so good. And it's already like warm and everything, and just drink it out of the cup. And I'll walk up and down the aisles. And if I'm not done eating, I'll just walk up and down the aisles randomly until I am done, and then I'll go in line and buy them.
Okay.
So
time out. Are you taking Potts? Are you taking things off the shelves and unwrapping them and eating them?
Straight up.
You're unwrapping things off the shelves and eating them.
Yeah, and I don't even throw the wrappers away. I just leave them in the cart.
You're admitting on the air that you're a criminal. Like, what are you saying right now?
Grand Theft Soup.
You're a shoplifter? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, because it's kind of like the Vegas theory. What happens at pavilions stays at pavilions. That's our grocery store in here.
Okay.
So
Wait a minute.
Is that something you guys have ever done?
No. First of all, let's just make sure. Let's backtrack, Belly. He's not talking about going up to a sample platter.
No, I understand what he's talking about.
I'm just clarifying with you because I can't talk to him right now. I don't even know
done
what
this
to
in
say.
a store, but I've paid for it.
Can I further clarify? I'm also not putting things in my pocket and walking out, guys.
No, you're
you're putting it in your belly instead.
I'm in the store.
I'm just storing it in my belly to take out of the store.
Oh, dude, I don't know what to do with you right now. I mean, all right, so let me just ask this. I don't understand still. Like, are you saying the equivalent of you walk past the candy aisle, you see a Snickers bar, you think, man, that would be nice. I know you're a healthy eater, but you just take the Snickers bar, unwrap it, and eat it as you're walking down the aisle.
Yeah, and it started as 1, and it quickly escalated to 3 organic honeycomb
What
cookies.
is the matter with you?
And then it turned into a cup of soup.
Who knows? What's next? A whole bowl of cereal? Just go get some milk, drop some milk in a bowl.
Should I just do that? Should I just see how over the top I can get before I get arrested?
Well, I mean,
how funny would that be?
I don't want you to get in trouble, buddy.
Right. Well, so I did kind of sketch out because yesterday. So I do eat this specific cookie. I just fell in love with it, and I went to the aisle. And it's a whole wall of like organic cookies and protein bars, and right where my little cookies are is an empty space. And I guess I don't know if I ate so many they went out of business or what, but like they don't even carry the cookie anymore. They do not carry this specific cookie, and they just left the space.
The loss
empty.
on organic cookie is too great for this grocery store because of Matty Potts.
You own a restaurant. Imagine somebody coming in once a day just to try eating they have one slider and leave.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, but if I was doing the volume that the grocery store was, I mean, we're talking about, and when I went, these cookies were now apparently on clearance because they were pushing through. They were like on clearance for 75 cents.
Okay, let's take this to the people. Can we take this to the people?
Clearance
Please
means
text.
coming back.
Please text 571-354-7338 or call us right now if you'd like to. If you're listening live on the stream, which I see some people are, I would like to know, is Matty Potts crazy, or have you done that? Have you maybe just been a little bit hungry? In the grocery store, you grab something from the aisle and eat it. I can't imagine not getting caught.
So I've done this, but the problem is you can't go to self-checkout afterwards because I will eat something, but I will pay for it. I will bring like the wrapper up and say, "Listen, I ate this while I was walking around. I'm sorry, I know, but whatever." But the problem is if you go to self-checkout, like if you get a water bottle, start drinking it, and then get up, check out, ring it out, and then put it in the like sensor area, the sensor doesn't pick it up right because the weight's wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
So, of course, you always get caught when you go to self-checkout.
Because at first when he started telling the story, Belly, I was like, what the heck restaurant grocery store is he going to that they have all kinds of free samples like this?
Costco?
No, these aren't free samples. They just have a lot of food on the shelf.
They're just clearance cookies instead.
We'll call it Potts' Pantry. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. Did you see Rafael Palmeiro? Potts is trying to come back to baseball at age 53.
That means Adam still has a chance.
I have it. You're saying there's a chance. Age 53. Rafael Palmeiro. Belly, tell the listeners and Potts who he is.
So Rafael Palmeiro is a former baseball player. Has played with the Yankees and the Orioles for a time, and he also was indicted, I'm pretty sure, in the steroids.
Remember the whole finger wagging at the Congress?
Yeah. And then it turns out he was doing it anyway.
Yeah, and he left on a very, very bad note, even though he was one of the best hitters of all time. It's very much a Johnny Bench story.
Yeah.
Not Johnny Bench.
But now he's trying to make a comeback, and you're telling me this 53-year-old dude hasn't taken any performance-enhancing drugs?
Not only that, what was his? What was the commercial that he was? Wasn't he for like an ED commercial or herpes, or it was something that's like you don't want to be the spokesperson for this?
No.
Yeah, it was.
I hope not.
Pull it, Clyde. Clyde, pull that up.
Keith Hernandez is the Just for Men guy.
That's true. From Seinfeld.
Guys, who's letting a 53-year-old play baseball?
So what he's saying is he thinks he can, and he doesn't want to go through the developmental leagues.
He doesn't want to go through the minors at all.
He wants a spring training invite from a club.
Oh, so he's not playing for anyone yet.
He's not playing. He's seeking a invite to spring training as a 53-year-old who went 2 for 4 in his son's league. So he thinks he can do it, right? And we've got, oh, God. Texter writes in, no way, I've seen grapes eaten before, but never something you have to unwrap. I've also seen drinks being opened, but I don't do that. That's well said, Texter.
Grapes.
Neat.
I don't buy grapes strictly because I see people going through and just fingering all the grapes and looking at it. I got a weird thing about that, man.
Yeah, no, I don't eat free samples. That's really unsanitary. So, real quick, and then I'm just bringing this up because we talked about these $1 margaritas. I don't remember. Was it at like Chili's or something?
Well,
it was Applebee's.
What?
It was Applebee's, and they're doing a new one now.
Oh, Ned, so this is Applebee's. So now they're doing a new one. They're doing. People are always asking how I'm making money off my $1 tacos.
Hold on. Belly, do you know this yet?
I already know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Keep going, Pot. Sorry.
Yeah. So
this one makes sense.
We're our tacos. We do $1 Taco Tuesdays at Marinate, and it's based on volume. But how do you possibly make any money, even on volume, for $1 Long Island iced teas? And for people that don't know what's in a Long Island iced tea, every single alcohol in the world.
Well,
5 liquors.
Belly.
Five. It's 4 liquors and a liqueur.
So Belly, tell them how they were making the $1 margaritas, and so how they were doing this to make money.
Well, the thing is about, I mean, with the Long Islands, it's much different.
Right. So tell them about the margaritas first.
The margaritas just came from a jug. It was basically sour mix, tequila, water.
And what'd they put it in the bag?
No triple sec. And they put it in a bin, like a big old bucket.
That's disgusting. You're literally just
bucket.
like scooping out of the bucket, right?
Yeah, and so people know for like really cheap tequila, it's not even tequila. It's like they have tequila flavored liquor. It's essentially like tequila flavored vodka.
Right,
is what you're really getting.
Right.
Yeah.
Which will take us into, I'm glad you mentioned this, because this will take us into our discussion on the drinks to avoid as pre-gaming.
But Long Islands
how are
are
you
not.
making $1 Long Island, Belly?
I don't know how you're making $1. You're not making any money, that's for sure. And here's the other thing is, if this is a testament, every Applebee's I know of is closed.
That's a good point.
Every single Applebee's I know of at this point is closed.
Not to mention, I know a guy who worked at an Applebee's, and he said to avoid them at all costs. Now, I don't want to say, I don't want to be reckless on the radio. I mean, this is a business. I wouldn't want somebody saying about my business from some random person, I heard never to hire DJ Lucio. But, guys, I think you see a lot of it when you go into these places. These Applebee's, if you look at, I mean, they're not clean.
You think $1 beer? You think $1 beers brings out a bad crowd? It's $1. Anyone who thinks that going out and getting hammered on these $1 Long Islands is a good idea is a complete crazy person.
Well, you realize they're just trying to get you into the restaurant, right? That's the whole point. They don't care about losing money on the alcohol. They're just going to get you to buy another drink or some.
That's why every Applebee's I know is going out of business, because they're like, please, here, just take this $1.
Right.
So just
$1 Long Island.
So to
they're
go along,
planning on making their money off the food, but even that's like the worst margin. I mean, the money you make the money off the liquor.
That's
not the food.
correct.
Exactly.
That's
it's
correct.
totally backwards. You should give a free app and then be charging full price for drinks. That's how you
Exactly.
do
So alcohol.org surveyed 1,000 people to ask them about their pre-gaming tendencies and found that the average person has at least one drink before hitting the town. Potts, I know that's your method of choice when you go out on a date. What do you do?
Get them drunk.
No. What do you do to
This is not your best
prep for your
episode
drink?
for your your
2 shots of
reputation.
tequila is your answer.
What do I do? What do you mean?
For yourself as a pregame before you go on a drink. Or on a date.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I get myself drunk. I always take 2 shots of tequila before.
He's like, I
go
pack
on
up
a
the
date.
roofies. I mean, what? What do you
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, you always got to. Well, first, yeah, you take 1 or 2 shots of tequila. One, because when I go, I like power drink no matter where I am. So one, it saves me a little bit of money, but it also kind of gets me a little bit loose, takes the edge off, because I can actually be quite charming when I'm face to face, which is another thing. I've been doing this online dating thing, and guys, I know we've talked about it, but I hate it.
I'm done with it. I'm over it.
So annoying.
We'll talk about that more on our Wednesday podcast, but yeah, I'm over it too, man.
Fine. And I have been meeting girls. I mean, I've sent you guys a picture of the most recent conquest, but I hate it. I just want to meet people formally.
I'm glad you said that. Tune in on our Wednesday show at 10 a.m. live on YouTube channel LITM Podcast to hear exactly what he's talking about, because she is smoking hot. So I have to hear why you're not excited about it. I have 2 or 3 things to talk about in the dating sense. So we'll do that. Belly, you got anything there too?
Light.
Yeah,
but,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Belly's going after one of my friends. Hey.
I'm not going after anything. All right?
So let's go. Did you guys see?
She's probably gonna. She's probably listening to the show, and I'm not saying I'm going after.
She may or may not be the voice of the Marinate ad. I'm just saying.
Oh, that girl's cute. Yeah, well, she sounds hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you that.
She's a very attractive woman.
Speaking of pre-gaming, I don't know if you guys saw that the Redskins, who were the 3? I know it was Clinton Portis was saying that they used to take a shot of Henny before going out to the field. And it was just like a one-shot kind of thing. Santana Moss, I think, was with him. And I don't want to say Sean Taylor if that's not accurate, but I feel like he was a part of the 3. So it got me thinking about pre-gaming.
You mean the Miami boys? It would be them.
That would make sense, right? Yeah. And so Their alcohol.org, like I said, they said there's plenty of interesting information to digest, but as far as we're concerned, the only chart that matters is the one depicting the kinds of alcohol that have the highest tendency to screw up your night before it even starts. What do you think the worst pre-gaming alcohol is?
Easy. I guarantee it's tequila.
And it makes no sense because that's the one that you should do because it's so expensive at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
But it will just turn you around. Best pre-gaming drink, what do we think?
Beer?
Nope.
For me, it's a shot of tequila.
Nope. Without, it's the drink that's going to least have the tendency to screw up the rest of your night.
Vodka soda. I mean, that's what I drink.
Vodka's
anyway,
the third worst out of 7.
So what's the least?
The least is a glass of?
Oh, God, wine.
Wine.
Who's doing that? Number 2, the next one's rum. Moving up to other, which is thanks a lot. Then beer. And now here are the top 3 worst. Vodka is the third worst.
Whiskey.
Whiskey's the second worst. And tequila.
See, I'm a whiskey drinker. J-Mo. All day.
Let's do this, buddy. I want to take a break, and then can we do the whole Steelers? I got to get into this because I want to talk about why the NFL should take a page out of the XFL's book because bad things are happening for the NFL right now, and there's all kinds of discussions. I know you're probably tired of hearing about it. And, you know, we've been talking about the physicality of the Steelers-Bengals game on Monday night until everybody's blue in the face. But I'll tell you right now, are we doing an outro, Belly? Is that the outro?
It's one of the outros.
I like this one. So I got some news for you guys on the hits in the NFL, and I have a reason that everybody's freaking out about it. I got a fix for you. We got it all coming up next. Let's do that in just about 2 minutes. It's Luch Dog in the Morning.
At litmradio.com.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the Morning. Thanks for hanging out on Sunday morning with us. Richmond's 106.1, talking sports, talking life. Doing it all with you right here from Studio A with my co-hosts Belly and Potts, Matty Potts from the Santa Monica newsroom. All right, guys, huge, massive hits in the Monday Night Football game this past week, and everybody has been talking about how bad the hits were and how, obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to Shazier. Wow. And Belly, I didn't even think it was that bad.
I thought it was very disturbing of a hit.
Did you see the hit, Potts?
Nope.
So he went in straight just for a regular hit, but he led with his head.
Top of his
Wait,
head.
Hold on. Can you do that again in the microphone for us?
Oh, chug that water.
Drink out of my water bottle?
He likes that moist sound. That's right, ladies. I just said moist.
It's so funny. All right, so yeah, he basically led with his head, and his head got smushed into his body, and then he rolls over, grabbing at his back, and then you can watch him as he's losing feeling in his legs, and it's really scary.
Yeah, you can see he can't move his.
He's
he
like
can't
doing
move one
this.
of his arms.
He's flexing his fingers to get feeling. I mean, it's really scary
because he's tucked up. One of his arms is tucked up underneath him, and he's not moving his legs like whatsoever.
I mean, this is going to air on Sunday, but at the time of taping this on Friday morning, he's still in the hospital. I mean, he's back in. He
actually had
Pittsburgh.
surgery to stabilize his back. It sounds like he's gonna have a long road to recovery.
This is not nearly sounding as positive as it was as the reports came out the night after, or the night of the game.
We've asked this question before. Would you guys let your kid play football?
Well, so here's what I wanted to do, and before you ask that question, that's a very good point, and a lot of people are starting to go on the train of no, right? Belly, would you let your kid play football? You played football.
If my kid wanted to play football, I wouldn't go out of my way to stop them. But I would warn them of the dangers of the game and let them understand, like, hey, like, this is a brutal game. Like, things will happen to your body, will happen without any question that whether or not
and
it
it's
will.
happening earlier in life. I mean, they're doing tests, and that's the real thing. Is
well, I wouldn't.
Well, bigger, stronger, faster. Everybody's getting bigger, stronger, faster. So all the stuff's going to happen quicker.
I wouldn't let them play as a if they're young. I wouldn't let them play.
No, and quite frankly, I'm thinking really put yourself in that mindset. That is your child. There's no way. Go play baseball. Go play
13,
anything else.
14, 15.
Sorry, man.
I'm okay with it.
But here's what I wanted to say about it, because a lot of people are saying, and I thought Mike Golick brought up a good point. His wife does a lot of work for, football advocacy, and they always say if you're going to tell your kids not to play, that's fine, but make the choice out of education and not out of fear. You know, find yourself educated, make sure you get all the facts, and then if that's what your decision is, then great, that's fine. Protect your family, but don't do it out of just strict fear without looking up any information.
And that's what I was saying.
That's fair. You make a good
I'm going
point.
to tell my kid all the points, and I wouldn't let them play before they were like 13 or 14 when they get into high school and they can start playing without. I of course would teach them some fundamentals throughout their life.
But do you guys remember the XFL?
Yeah, I remember.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Remember?
It was
Potts,
one season long.
Not really.
One season long. It was all about like super hot cheerleaders on the sidelines, basically almost like strippers. Like they were wearing basically nothing.
When the WWE is leading a football league, what do you expect?
Yeah,
It's
and
all
it was
about
they were broadcasting massive hits, huge.
That was their advertising.
Huge collisions. Like they were embracing the fact that this is brutal.
It was like NFL Blitz, the game, except in real life.
Now, here's what I wanted to pose to you guys. I am feeling as if a lot of people... Now, I've never cared less about the NFL than I have this season. For some reason, I am really not into it. And I'm trying to find ways... And it's funny because it's the first, actual sports show that we've had on real air. We usually do a comedy show, and then we got adopted to sports, and we love doing it. I mean, we love sports. But, man, I'm not as in on football. I know the ratings are a little bit down. And I started thinking about it. Aren't you tired of the NFL acting as if they're making it safer for everyone, and they're trying to cover up the fact that this is such a brutal thing that's happening? What if they just adopted it?
Well, instead
just adopt it.
Well, you're not. I wouldn't say adopting's the right word. I think you.
No,
I
go
think,
full on.
No, I think you mean accepting it. Adopting it is, I don't think, the right word. But
accept the fact. Fine, accept it. Accept the fact that you're gonna this is what Mike Mitchell was saying. Now, I am not saying I want people to get hurt. What I am saying is, I feel as if when we go back to the gladiators in Roman ages, right? This feels to me like the commissioner of the Gladiator League saying, now listen, guys, we know this is a brutal sport, but we now organically grass feed the tigers before any event, so they're less likely to maul our fearless gladiators. We're taking measures to make the sport safer. It's like, shut up.
No,
stop with any of that.
You're asking them to be transparent and say, listen, this is a brutal game. If you want to play it, if you want to make money doing it, this is what's going to happen.
Here's the
facts. If you can't accept it,
they should be on the forefront of
game.
educating us like Mrs. Golick says. It shouldn't be the NFL saying, no, really, heads up initiative. If you tackle with your face up, everything's fine. No, I want to see them come out and say, look, people are getting bigger, stronger, faster. We're not going to make the field bigger. Things can go wrong. If you like it, if you don't like it, this is our product. But stop trying to tell me that because, you keep the tigers in a bigger cage, they're going to be less apt to maul my gladiators. Give me a break.
I think if they start admitting or owning it like that, I think people are just going to ask for even more money.
In what way?
because they're going to say you guys are admitting that we are basically going, by doing this, we are going to have, a loss of life after, quality of life after this is over. We want more money as
So you're talking about
players
lawsuits from the players?
Yeah, I think they can't admit anything. They have to just pretend like they're taking
Well, they can't admit
exhausting every effort to make it as
that
safe.
may be true with past players that played this game and say, all right, but if you're transparent about it and upfront from now on, any player going forward and accepting that risk, signing that contract, right at the end of the contract is going to say, this game can and will hurt you.
You may be paralyzed.
Right. But when you do that, someone will ask for more money. They'll say, okay, you're admitting.
Oh, as a salary.
Kill me.
As a salary.
They're going to wrap it into their contract just like the NFL.
But they already are doing that. I mean, that's why contracts are so big.
End up costing more money.
Yeah. Now, what if they started
it probably will still end up in more lawsuits regardless.
Yeah.
I thought you were taking it strictly the lawsuit route. Now, you make a good point. They'll probably have to negotiate a better deal, maybe more guaranteed dollars in the next collective bargaining agreement.
I think it's more about long-term health care and long-term insurance and long-term.
Do they already get that after they leave the
I
league?
believe a lot of them do, but I'm sure that there can be improvements in it. I'm
Goodell
sure.
does after his new deal.
Yeah, well, screw that guy.
Healthcare for life. But no, that's what I started thinking about. If you start saying from the beginning, if you're transparent about it, the reason that they're getting sued is because they're saying, no, we didn't know anything about it.
Well, what did Mike Mitchell say?
Well, so Mike Mitchell, man, this is fantastic. I mean, it's not fantastic because I agree with it. It's just really good sound. It's a really good statement.
Who's Mike Mitchell?
He's a safety for the
Pittsburgh Steelers.
And he's had some very dirty hits in the past. I don't know if you remember.
No, he's had some very violent collisions. I wouldn't call them dirty.
Alex Smith would definitely disagree when he goes forward to make a pass, and there's Mike Mitchell hitting him in the back behind the legs. Remember that play? That was Mike Mitchell. I can show you the video right here. Well, it's dirty as all get out. And then you look at the other one, and he's talking about how he gets fined because Andy Dalton threw a bad ball. This is actually really, really interesting. He says, let me get the snippet here. Where am I? It's okay. There you go. I'm going to mess around and get hurt trying to protect an offensive player because he's running an over route. Damn it, your quarterback shouldn't have threw that ball messed up. That happened to me 2 years ago. I'm not joking at all. Andy Dalton threw a ball to Tyler Eifert 2 years ago. Tyler Eifert had to dive for it. I was aiming for his gut. But if he don't dive, he don't get hit in the head. That's $50,000 out of my pocket, though, because Andy throws a bad ball. Make that make sense. And at first, you're taking our money, but now I get bleep holes like Matt Hasselbeck calling me a dirty player and trying my character, and we've never met before.
Yeah.
Now that...
Yeah, I mean,
you can't argue with a lot of that. You know, he's going...
And he went on to say, like... Didn't he go on to say something along the lines of... what was it? Like, if I feel like I have to ask guys permission, like, if I'm... are you ready for me to hit you? Because
I heard that.
This is a game.
I heard that, yeah.
And it's just unbelievable. But what goes on, and I'm on brobible.com, they say, well, Mike, I guess we're just supposed to forget you trying to twist Charkandrick West's ankle off his leg. Do you remember that play?
Yeah.
Remember he was just laying there trying to twist his ankle off? That was Mike Mitchell.
Look, I mean, I think there's examples, good examples, bad examples.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
It just is what it is.
That's fair.
There's always going to be an exception, like that was, that guy shouldn't have been fined, and then the other way around as well. So,
but it's just hard,
whatever.
Potts, because I'm sitting here with the science of everything telling us this is really bad, and then you got the NFL saying, but no, we're making it safer, but. You're making it safer to the point where you grass-fed the tigers. So they're still going to go out there and eat your gladder. It's still a dangerous game. Don't tell me it's not.
You're banging, Luke, you're banging your head against the wall. At the end of the day, it's about money.
And not only that.
NFL ain't going anywhere. They're doing what they can to pacify, all the naysayers. And that's all they care about. They're going to do the bare minimum to shut people up, to spend the least amount of money. And keep going. Like it should. Like what do you? It is what it is. Like what are you getting all worked up over? That's what it's going to happen. Nothing will change.
I think as a fan,
maybe little things will change.
So I think as a fan, like, aren't you tired of hearing about it? That, like all this, just let's just be.
And even then,
real about
your
it.
Twisting ankle stuff and this dirty play stuff is part of the old guard of the game. I mean. Teams read injury reports. I bet you the reason he was twisting Charkandrick West's ankle that game is because in the injury report that week, he was like, your ankle's already tweaked. If I tweak it just enough,
a little bit,
you're out of the game.
A little bit. All right, let's do this. I love this. I love talking about this stuff because I feel like sports in 30 years are going to look so
football
different. No. Okay, we'll
baseball.
Do that next.
How's baseball going to change?
We'll do it next. Give me a song. We'll do sports in the next 30 years. And we'll get you out of here on that. Potts, do you have a could you not for today?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Right after the show. So anyway, so we had this new guy. Well, he's been around for 3 weeks, and I've said this before, where we basically hire people on a 30-day trial period, and we can fire you for any reason for that first 30 days. So this guy's in week 3. After 4 weeks, we give you $1 an hour raise. So this guy's in week 3. He's been killing it, doing a great job. Yesterday, he cooks 40 pounds of chicken and screws it up, basically. And this is all this guy has been doing for 3 weeks, is cooking chicken. He lost over $100 of product, labor. So now, right after the show, on my day off, I'm off today, I have to go in, fire this kid. And it was just the most bonehead move ever. And I'm just so annoyed, because it's just like, oh, dude, I was literally about to give yours. This is why, like, I am so against raising minimum wage. These people don't deserve it. I will pay you more if you deserve it. If not, I'm going to fire you. I'm sorry. Like, it's very simple. Anyway, so could you not cook 40 pounds of chicken breast incorrectly, and now I have to toss it and then toss you?
Can we get one employee to make it past the 30-day trial out there for you?
It's
30 days.
One. We have had one in 4 months.
All right, we're going to do the landscape of sports in 30 years from now and how it's going to look completely different than what you expect. We'll do that next and get you out of here with a smile on your face. It is Luch Dog in the Morning.
At litm.com.
Do you want to learn how to defend yourself efficiently with your handgun? Or use pepper spray with the confidence of real-life training? How about develop an actionable home defense plan? Innovative Defensive Solutions offers realistic personal defense training both in Manassas and Doswell. IDS Training also travels nationwide to host range and classroom locations. Since 2003, IDS Training has been teaching people to improve their safety through contextually accurate and realistic personal defense training, including concealed carry permit courses, pepper spray courses, beginner firearm safety, and of course defensive firearm training. So head over to innovativedefensivesolutions.com or call 571-535-4437 with promo code LUCH, that's L-U-C, and get 20% off their coursework. You can also find IDS on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with the handle @IDS Training. Innovative Defensive Solutions, making you safer through realistic firearm training. Real training for real life. InnovativeDefensiveSolutions.com.
What's up, y'all? It's Maddie Mads here. This show is sponsored by TTR Studios. Whether it's weddings, parties, karaoke, audio, video production, and all your entertainment needs, call TTR Studios, LLC at 703-850-2223 or check them out at ttrevents.com. Start the show, Luch.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the Morning. And we are excited to hang out with you, as always.
Cruising right along.
Cruising along, man. This one went fast. We were really excited to do a show today. We didn't get a chance to do one last week as we were setting up the new stewed. Boy, it feels good. Yeah, what's
Do you
up?
mind if I hijack the show for a bit? I've got some what do you call it, spring cleaning, or I need to get some stuff off
House
my plate.
cleaning. Yeah,
So,
we've got
real
7
quick,
minutes with the people.
Clear your pipes.
House cleaning. Belly, did you see the Silverdome demolition fail?
Oh yeah, of
Did
course
you
I
guys see
did.
that?
The Pontiac Silverdome's
Okay.
only been up and
And they're
standing.
leaving it. They're just going to leave it there.
Their second one worked.
Oh, okay, good. I
They
heard they were
knocked
just
it
going to
down.
leave
I
it.
didn't
That's
even
not
know
good.
that. All right.
Okay.
So next, okay. Oh, this is good. So everyone should know about this. Tuesday, because this is airing Tuesday on Sunday. Tuesday, Chipotle is serving up free queso if you wear your cheesiest sweater. So I guess if you wear like your cheesiest, maybe Christmas sweater, you go into Chipotle on Tuesday, you get some of that disgusting free queso dip.
Is
the
that
ramen
no?
shirt counts.
Time out. They just redid the whole recipe.
They did the whole redid the recipe to try again.
Because apparently it was awful.
Oh, it was terrible.
I mean, full disclosure, I haven't tried it at all. 'cause
It's
I stay away
terrible.
from dairy.
Belly, you
But
had it?
How is it measuring up to Moe's queso dip?
Oh, first of all, Moe's is the only place that
Yeah.
truly knows
Let's
how
be-
to
let's
make
be real
queso
here.
in the fast food world.
Okay.
But
Okay. Adult film star August Ames unfortunately took her own life earlier this week. She was only 23. Yeah.
Did you see another one? Shyla Stiles just died. I'm sorry, I'm killing music because this is like serious now, but I did not hear that.
Right, and I'm bringing it up because one, they said it was due to depression, and I mean, there's been so many instances of depression-related deaths, so just wanted to throw that out there. But
wait,
I also
she was also bullied
seen,
very much. So.
August Ames, have you guys seen adult film stars that are so hot? You literally like, why are they even in it? Like, can
right,
they just
you
model
can do
or do
anything
something?
you want. She is gorgeous.
She was one of those like drop dead gorgeous.
Wow, I didn't
only
know
23. That. Also, so Netflix announced they are actually going to resume production of the hit series House of Cards. I love House of Cards.
Without Kevin Spacey,
especially
of course.
Guys living in the DC area, you should be watching it.
Yep.
So now season 6 is going to revolve around Robin Wright, who, I mean, I guess it's going to be not as difficult of a spin because at the end of season 5 she became president. So I mean, I don't know how the
spoilers.
Yeah. What?
No, for anyone who hasn't
so
watched.
I don't know how they're totally going to write him out. But obviously, it's going to have to happen, and they're going to resume production at the beginning of next year. And then this is, since we're actually recording Friday morning, I got the inside track. The Redskins are in town. Last night they dined at Nobu Malibu, and so
is this for real? Or are you
those
joking?
Of you who don't know, I mean, Nobu's like one of the most expensive sushi Japanese restaurants in the country.
Oh wow!
And my question to you is, do the Redskins deserve to be dining at Nobu Malibu, or should they be drinking dollar LITs at Applebee's?
Applebee's, 100% Applebee's.
That's what I was. All right.
Very
as
good
long
job
as we all
from
agree.
Matty
I don't know how they get off going to spend probably $3,000. All right, I'll shut up.
Thank
Leave
you.
me
Get
alone.
out of here. All right, we gotta get to the 30 years from now sports. I have 3 minutes left. Fantastic job. I said to Matt Potts, "Do you have news before the show?" He's like, "No." And then all of a sudden,
he said yes.
I love it, dude. That was fantastic.
Said he had plenty to go for.
You guys said
I did say that.
30 years from now, baseball will be no different. Basketball will be no different. Football will definitely be different. Did you see the dude? Is it Malb for the college guy for Texas who dunked with his hand almost above the backboard? It was above the backboard.
I don't see where you're going with this. Doesn't mean the game's going to change.
Okay, so think about this. You see, what position, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 does LeBron James play? Is he a point guard? Is he a center?
Plays them all.
He plays them all. Joel Embiid. All these guys. Carl Anthony Towns. They're all 5s now. That's basketball. Baseball, they're all going to throw 107 miles an hour. You're going to have to put puddles in the outfield. You have to do something to just. I mean, I'm telling you.
You know what? No. You know what? I've figured this out. You have no idea what football or any sport's going to look like in 30 years. You're talking about putting like moats and alligators in the outfield.
We discussed this. Right. It would be so much more funny.
That I like. So you just shut me up to talk about this nonsense? What are you doing?
This guy can jump over a backboard, and so we got to raise the hoop.
That's not changing the game.
Wasn't that your idea?
Hear like ESPN, they're like, oh, it's like
his
a
idea was
shooters league, or it's I mean, that's just the style of play. Really, that's not changing the game or changing the rules.
Wasn't it Potts' idea to put moats in the outfield and then the loser team has to walk the plank?
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Right. I want more of that. That's what we're gonna get. We are now living in the movie. We're living in the movie. What's the movie? It's this where everybody stupid takes over the world.
Oh, Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Thank you. They all look at me like, I don't know, Luch. What is the movie?
My balls, that show?
Well, it's just like that's what we're living now. So now I feel like you're gonna have a jungle gym on the 50-yard line that people have to go through to get to the touchdown. Like we're gonna have all kinds of messes on.
If you're
our
not
hands.
on YouTube right now, I am death staring Lucio.
You're gonna have Rafael Palmeiro playing at age 53. Right. This is a real story.
That's a real story.
That's real.
You and your jungle gyms in the middle of the stadium are some baloney.
Not to mention you're wearing a tank top that rivals your ugly ramen noodles shirt tank top. So I don't know where you're getting your clothing, but you need a new.
I need a girlfriend. I need a wife who can dress me.
Yeah, well, you got to clean up first.
All right, folks, this has been a blast. Matty Potts from the Santa Monica Newsroom. What do you got left for the people?
Well, nothing, because we have no time, so I guess we'll have to get to it on our Wednesday show. I got plenty for the Wednesday show. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, fellas. And you can kindly go find yourself.
Love you, buddy. We'll see you on Wednesday. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Belly, for the people.
Bye, folks. It was a pleasure.
That's my man. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Belly, are you pumped for this? Because we got a lot to talk about. We got dating. We got all kinds of stuff. And then sports again.
anything is possible on a Wednesday, folks.
You never know. So come and check us out, and you can see us all of our podcasts are at litmradio.com. We'll see you guys next week. It's Luch Dog in the morning.